Murder. It's generally frowned upon in polite society, which is why we have video games, to live out our murderous rage in virtual reality. At least that's what the government seems to think.
Violent video games are harmful to our children.
However, normally, I tend to be pretty merciful when I play games. I will, on occasion, let people live. I'm not a monster after all. I guess I'm the exception. If you think about it, you guys are actually the real monsters here. You're the ones who've been asking me to do a kill every enemy playthrough for The Last of Us Part 2 after all.
I'm not the monster here, you are!
And gosh darn it if that doesn't sound like a whole bundle of fun. So today I'm going to kill absolutely everyone! I'm talking every enemy, not just the main encounters, but also the enemies that you have to actually seek out. Even if it's just one infected dude chilling in a bathroom, if they move, they die. So let's go over the ground rules. Like I said, the goal is to kill every single enemy. That goes for all infected and all human encounters. No one is making it out of this thing alive. Not even me. I am going to be allowed to use all of my weapons and tools because this game hates to give me ammo and it's just generally more fun that way. But since you guys love to watch me suffer, I am going to be playing this thing on grounded mode. We can't make it too easy now, can we? And if I were to say, let someone who totally deserves to die live in a cutscene, that will not count against me. I think we all know what I would have done at that moment. Anyway, now that we have the ground rules established, let's hop into it. Our humble journey begins with Joel remembering that one time that he saved Ellie's life, sacrificing the cure to mankind.
I think it would be best for both of us if you just moved on.
Since no one has any interest in hearing about that, get over it, Joel! We flash forward a bit and are introduced to our lovable, snarky Ellie.
Made you some sandwiches.
Okay.
I'm a real bitch before I've had my coffee.
And now we're introduced to our less lovable but equally as snarky Abby.
Hello, Abby.
I fucking knew I couldn't count on you.
Since Abby is mad at me for not taking her side over Ellie's, not that that's anything new or different, she embarks on her own deadly quest into the forest to fight a troll monster, or whatever it is she's doing out there.
It's okay, Abby can make her own decisions, no matter what they might lead to.
I did not start this challenge off super great, as I admittedly did get a bit hurt while fighting off the infected. But it's okay, we're only just getting started. I'm sure things will improve.
You wish.
But enough about Abby. It's Ellie time, baby. Oh yeah. Oh no! After stabbing, and honestly just kind of a lot of stabbing my way through the supermarket, I stealth killed the clickers and immediately got spotted in the last fight. I don't know how. I was being super sneaky. You know, it was probably Dina's fault. Frickin' Dina.
You know what? I'm impressed with us.
I don't know, Dina, that was kind of pathetic. Well, now that we're done with that mild nightmare, Dee and I headed off to the library. It's important to expand your mind and grow your— or get high, that works too.
I don't smoke. It's a disgusting habit.
Elsewhere we can find Abby running from and totally not killing the infected chasing her through the forest. I am gonna add a failure to this scene even though there isn't really any realistic way for me to kill all of these guys. All I have is my pistol and it's really not that good. And unfortunately I kind of run into the same problem at the ski lift. The infected just kind of keeps spawning in and I only get so many bullets on grounded mode. Man, Abby, and here I thought I could actually beat this challenge. Way to prove me wrong. And just to add insult to injury, Abby decided that instead of killing the infected in the combat section, she would just kill Joel in a cutscene. I hate you, Abby. I really do. Alright, it's time for vengeance. I began my journey into the city by hunting down and mercilessly killing any zombie I saw. I began at the bank where I realized that I somehow still had listening mode turned on. I swear, I'm playing on grounded mode. Honestly, I didn't even think to try it up until this point because grounded mode isn't supposed to let you use listen mode, but hey, I'm not gonna complain.
A space shuttle? No, that's right. Your astronaut thing.
What astronaut thing? Then I easily killed all the infected outside the dome building, killed one little infected boy hiding out in the bathroom, and made my way to the courthouse. The fight inside the courthouse was honestly so easy that I actually had to check my settings to see if I was actually still playing on grounded mode. And I was. I think I've just played this game too much. I've gone too deep. Now that we're done with the semi-open world area, we can move on to the Cervina Hotel, where I basically just killed all the infected without a second thought. Sorry guys, you're just not that scary. You'll get there.
Tommy did this. This?
Really? Wow. Does he do commissions? After getting jumped by the WLF because they're the only ones allowed to order commissions from Tommy, we ended up back in kindergarten. No, I can't do it again. I can't do it again. The school fight started out okay enough. I'm not gonna pretend it was my best work. I did miss a few shots and was generally kinda sucky, but I didn't die, so that counts for something, right? Well, now that Dean and I have graduated, couldn't come soon enough, frankly, we continued through town. Why are there so many people here? The fight through town was simple enough. I basically just used all the infected to fight most of the WLF troops for me. I did go through more ammo than I would have liked, but that's just the price you pay for a kill every enemy playthrough. So after taking out some infected and casually blowing up property just to boot, Dee and I made our way to the TV station. I love doing this tactic, and I never get to do it when I do the other challenges. It's just so funny.
You triggered my trap card!
Then I shot down the guys trying to snipe me while I'm making my way outside, and took out the last of the WLFs that like to casually chill out by the exit. Aw, they're so cute. But not for long. Tragically, I can't kill the enemies outside of the building, or maybe I can. Honestly, I wouldn't know, because in a panic move, I ran for my life like I normally do, totally forgetting the whole point of this challenge. But even if I could kill them all, I'm pretty sure I wouldn't have enough ammo to do it anyway, because honestly, I mean, it's grounded mode. I don't have enough ammo for this. Regardless, I'll count it as a fail. The first train station fight was a bit messy. I'm not doing great today. I can admit it. I got spotted in the second fight almost instantly, but the fight actually went fine. I mean, I just blew them up and burned them. Woo-ha-ha. The last fight actually went pretty good. I just blew them up, easy peasy. Like I always say, what's a casual explosion between friends? And now that we have escaped from that utter nightmare, we have reached another failure of the challenge, the train station chase. Yeah, there's way too many infected in here. Since the infected keep insta-spawning in, and I certainly do not have enough ammo to deal with this situation, we're just gonna have to run and leave those dummies to click and stalk another day.
How could you do this to me?
And that's not even the biggest problem I'm having today.
I think I'm pregnant.
Dina, I have already failed my challenge like a billion times, and it's not even day 2 yet. I simply do not have time for this. I don't care if I'm gonna be a dad.
What is wrong with you?
Did you know this was here?
You are way too into space, Ellie. Way too into space. And now we're at Hillcrest. I wasted a lot more resources than I would have preferred on in the first fight. What are you doing? And of course, outside of the usual fights, I also had to go hunt down all the infected in town, including 2 huge shamblers in that one dude's basement.
That sucks. Yeah. And it's not gonna get any easier. No.
I basically bombed all the infected locked inside the safe room, burned and shot the shamblers in the basement, shot all the infected at the bar, and basically knifed my way through the rest of the infected in town. And then I took out all the WLF patrols with lethal accuracy.
Hey.
Okay, well, you know, I'm doing my best. I will say, for playing on grounded mode, this isn't too bad. This section was pretty easy and I wasn't exactly doing great. I truly am the best gamer ever to exist. Or I just got lucky, either way. But now that that's all said and done, I can finally get out of here, meet up with Jesse, kill everyone in the general vicinity, and now I've reached another failure of the challenge, that darn car chase section. There are just way too many infected around. I just can't kill them all. Well, now we have reached my favorite part of the game, the Tommy sniper section. Thankfully, this time I didn't fail it. It doesn't completely make up for all the other times that I failed it in my multiple runs, but I gotta admit, this is pretty sweet. Suck a fart, Tommy. The hotel fight was definitely a bit humbling after all my big talk before, because I kept dying over and over again. The dang clickers kept grabbing me. I was feeling like the king of the world, and now I'm just a peasant. On the bright side, the bloater fight was super easy. It took very little effort, so that's nice. And now it's time for some sweet, sweet drama.
We traveled across the entire country to bring me to the Fireflies. I had so many questions for them.
Sorry, Ellie. They had no interest in answering those questions. They were just gonna rip your brain out of your skull, just like any good doctor would. So now that we're back in the present, I took out all the infected by the restaurant and then hopped over to the apartment complex to willingly let myself get jumped by a bunch of hoodlums. I was just trying to craft. What is wrong with you? Actually, you wouldn't happen to know where Abby is, would you?
Take it easy. Just take it easy.
Are you sure you don't know her?
Alright, well, thanks anyway.
Just let me go.
The stalker fight in the building was easy enough. I did get a bit swarmed, but generally I was able to make my way through those guys with few issues. So after killing a stalker glued to the wall of a sewer, I headed off to fight some scars, which took all of 2 seconds. Man, these guys are weak. The second batch of scars didn't put up too much of a fight either. Honestly, you guys are kind of embarrassing yourselves. Well, at least I'm done with the scars. Oh, come on. Alright, now I'm done with the scars, right? Right? Actually, yeah, that's pretty much it, at least for Ellie. She's only gonna see these guys one more time in the whole game. Anyway, off to the hospital.
Stop.
Not in this playthrough, Ellie. That was definitely a requirement. I almost ran into a bit of trouble at the hospital fight, but thanks to my quick thinking and even quicker reflexes, I was able to come out of there mostly unscathed, though I was covered in quite a lot of blood. And now that everyone in the hospital is really most sincerely dead, we're off to find Nora. Hi, Nora. Nora, wait, don't run into the basement! Nothing good ever happens in horror games when you run into the basement. Why doesn't anyone understand this? Even though I did have quite a few close calls during the basement fight, I somehow managed to get through it in one piece. Can't say the same for the other dummies down there. See, Nora, I told you not to go into the basement, but did you listen? No.
Think about what he did. How many people are dead because of him?
After a lovely day of murdering everyone in the city, Ellie returns home to veg out on the couch and remember the good times.
Don't you fucking touch me!
Yeah, that's pretty much every teenage girl with her parents. Don't worry, she'll grow out of it. Sadly, Joel won't grow out of being dead, but what are you gonna do?
The more the merrier. Hey, look, Joel. It's your favorite.
Ellie, Joel is dead. He is not growing out of it. We've already established this. Since Jesse has been wanting to get in on the murder spree too, he and I headed out onto the town to rack up that body count. And I'm not talking about the slutty kind. That's Abby's thing. I was planning on being sneaky during the first WLF fight, but I missed the first shot and gave up almost immediately. It's slicing and dicing time. Jesse was not much help. Then the two of us headed over to the parking garage to kill some clickers and stalkers. Easy as pie. Then I took out the second WLF patrol with stealth. Then I took out the second WLF patrol with melee. I'm so good at stealth. So good stealth. And then I ended up getting extremely hurt during the mall fight. If only Jesse were here to guide me. And then I took out the last human enemies Ellie will encounter in Seattle. Well, at least the last ones that I'm going to have to fight. For once, I'm actually not driving straight through this area. It's weird. I don't like it. And then, obviously, I just immediately threw every weapon I had at the bloater in the arcade, because honestly, I just wanted that fight to end as soon as possible. Welp, now that we're at the aquarium, it's time to search for Abby. Abby, here girl! Dang it, I knew I shouldn't have used the dog voice. All right, where's Abby? I promise I won't kill you too violently if you tell me. I promise I won't kill you at all. Yes, I would never do that. Dang it, they saw past my ruse. But now Tommy and Jesse have found Ellie and everyone is back together, safe and sound. Well, you know, except for the people I just killed. But the happy family reunion was cut short after Abby storms the theater, kills Jesse, and shoots Tommy in the face. Oh my gosh, what are we gonna do?
What in God's name are you wearing?
But before that, intermission! Check out this cool animation I made. It's cool, right? This isn't an ad or anything, I just want to show off my animation. Anyway, and now we have reached the Abby section of the game. Ew! And it turns out Abby killed Joel as justice for her father's untimely death.
Cool motive, still murder. Hey, Abby, look at me. Let's go get a taco.
Okay. After a quick lunch break, or I guess breakfast, but who eats a burrito for breakfast? That's lunch or dinner food, people. I want some scrambled eggs. The gang and I embarked on our epic quest. Yeah, murder time, baby. Let's go. Sadly, I am gonna have to add another failure to the challenge due to the fact that even if I had the most perfect aim in the entire world, which I think we all already know that I have, there's just too many scars coming at me all at once that it's just too easy to miss some in this case. Therefore, I will have to count this as another failure.
It's just not fair, damn it!
The fight at the Home Depot was your standard affair. I basically just ran around and made Mel and Manny do most of the heavy lifting. Pretty standard tactic for me. The train yard fight went decently enough. I just used Abby's big muscles to wallop all the enemies into submission. That's what you get for going up against these gains. So even though I totally had the fight at the gas station handled all by myself, the rest of the WLF guys had to come along and rescue me. Hey now, I am no damsel in distress. Get out of here.
I am woman. Hear me smash!
I'm not gonna count this area as a fail since everyone is dead, even if I wasn't the one who actually killed them, but it's the thought that counts. Since I was still pretty mad at everyone for stealing my thunder, I decided that it was in my best interest for me to abandon them completely and run off into the wilderness to live out my days as a hermit. Or at the very least, I'll just go crash at Owen's for a few days. Cause it's not like I can just blow up the WLF base and kill everyone inside it, no matter how much I may want to. So my life living alone in the big city begins. Naturally, I decided to start it off by killing a clicker that was living in the walls, like you do. Then I stealthed my way through the remaining infected I stumbled upon in my travels, which also includes the clickers and runners lurking around Chinatown. Well, what do we say, stealth?
2 down. Millions to go.
I was able to sneak attack the scars in the first fight with ease. I was also able to sneak my way through the second scar fight, until I wasn't, but then I went right back into sneaky mode. Aren't I cool? And now that I have killed all the scars in the general area, I was feeling pretty confident in myself that things were looking okay. Until they weren't. Man, how am I gonna get myself out of this wacky situation? Am I right? What, you guys don't like comedy? Wait, no, you're not supposed to kill me, I'm supposed to kill you! But thankfully, the murder spree was only put on pause for a brief moment because we are now introduced to Lev and Yara. What was that? Now, the stalker fight through the forest was a bit of a mixed bag, because on one hand, I do end up killing all the enemies that the game throws in my general direction, but the problem is that there are some stalkers left running around in the shadows like they're Batman or something. And even though they are just put there for dramatic effect, they do fall under my big rule for the challenge. They're moving, and sadly, they are not dying. And so for that reason, I will be counting this section as a failure. I know, some of you might be thinking I'm being too hard on myself. And I am. So to make myself feel better about messing up the rules I set in place for myself, I went to sucker punch the big lady to death, along with a couple infected boys to boot. And now we have run into another problem with the challenge, the fight at the restaurant. This is another one of those sections that I am seemingly not supposed to kill all the infected in. The game very clearly wants me to make a break for it after the second wave. And try though I might, I was not able to kill them all. They just kept spawning in. Eventually the only infected that started spawning in was clickers, which was when I realized that it was probably time to leave. Oh well, you can't say I didn't try. Now that I'm finished with that nightmare, I dumped the tired, injured children off at a trailer, or as Abby likes to call it, daycare, and ran off to do some totally PG-related activities with Owen. But first I had to kill some infected. Let's go! Whoa, there are way too many people up here. Not okay, guys. Not okay. The boat fight honestly didn't go too much better. I ended up getting caught a bunch of times, but I didn't die, and came out of it with a decent amount of ammo remaining, so I'm not gonna complain. And with that all said and done, I have now reached Owen. No, PG, Abby, PG!
Your libido has endangered us all.
Now that I'm done watching that utter nightmare, Abby heads off to go save the kids, cause what else is she supposed to do for the next 2 days? I completely demolished the scars by the shipping yard. They didn't even stand a chance. Way to go me. So I rescued the chillins like the mama bird that I was born to be, and we are out of there. Come on kids, let me show you your new home. Except for you, Yara. Your new home is hell, cause you know you're dying and junk. Lev didn't seem super happy about Yara's impending death. I don't know why that could be. So the two of us headed off to go get some medical supplies for her, cause why does any of this matter?
What the fuck is this all about?
I was a bit embarrassing during the infected fight, and I wasted a lot more ammo than I would have liked. Oh well, what are you gonna do?
You okay? Yes.
Are you sure? You kinda got a Michael Jackson thing going on there, Lev. I did get a bit hurt on the first scar fight. What a loser! And then I got even more hurt during the second scar fight on the roof. Thankfully, that's the last of the scars I'm gonna be seeing. Oh no, another one! Since Abby decided to take a detour on our trip and do a pike and tuck somersault off the building into a swimming pool, we now have to fight some stalkers. And by we, I mean me! And by me, I mean we! Cause I sucker punch those dum-dums to kingdom come. What a bunch of wimps. And then I proceeded to waste so much of my ammo while making my way down the building that I'm actually getting a little concerned about the Rat King fight. This is not ideal. I do not have enough ammo. This is grounded mode, people, so I am quite confident that I am not gonna get any more. And even though wasting all my precious resources to kill all those stupid enemies was grueling, we have finally reached our reward, the hospital. Now we can...
There's a reason we haven't touched this area yet. It was ground zero for the whole city, where they brought the first infected before anyone knew better. It's gonna be overgrown to shit.
Go fight more infected. Great. I got spotted by the clickers almost immediately when I entered the first fight. I decided to just let them grab me and I would just shiv them to death over and over again. I had enough shivs, and that way I wouldn't waste too much ammo for the Rat King, so... whatever, I could live with it. At least the one nice thing about the Rat King fight is that I don't have to worry about losing my challenge here. The big doofus has to go down no matter what, and I have no problem killing him. It's not so scary when you throw everything you have at the guy with absolutely no reservations whatsoever. Like the old saying goes, violence is always the answer. So with the medical supplies in hand, Lev and I escaped to go murder hundreds of people another day.
You may fall for your little act with these kids, but I don't. There's nothing to fall for. Isaac's top scar killer suddenly had a change of heart. Nothing to do with Owen, right? I haven't always done the right thing. You're a piece of shit, Abby.
What? You don't know a goddamn thing about our magical night together. He loves me. He's the only man who loves me. We're gonna be happy. And you're gonna die!
Now that Mel has been sufficiently bullied into submission, just like all of Abby's friends, Yara and I go to look for Lev, who's running away. Great, now I've gotta go bully more people. You brought this on yourself, Lev. After I left behind the disabled child who hasn't even been out of surgery for more than a day to defend herself, I went off to go fight old Timothy, with the help of Manny. The effective fight took kind of a while because they weren't getting close enough for me to shoot them, but eventually I had gotten them all. It was mostly thanks to Manny, if I'm being honest. So the two of us chased Tommy down, Manny headed out for his union-mandated lunch break, and I let Tommy get away. Man, Abby, you really suck at this challenge. So we're at the island now, and what better way to start off our island getaway vacation than by slaughtering all the locals. I opted to just sneak and stealth my way through the first fight on the Scar Island. It went pretty good, all things considered. And as I was on my way to the next fight, Yara and I happened upon a couple of Scars just making their way through town, not harming a soul. So naturally I slaughtered them both. And even though it did take a minute because I was a bit distracted trying to lock in the enemy movement patterns, I was eventually able to stealth kill the second round of Scars as well. And now we found Lev.
Oh my god. That's a dead woman!
Since Abby's murderous rage having clearly rubbed off on Lev, I have never been more proud of you, you little scamp. We carried on, watched Yara and all of my hard work from day 2 get immediately wasted, and made our break for it. I tried to be sneaky again during the mall fight, but I lost my patience and just ended up taking him out the only way I knew how. Violently. But I was able to get back to being a ninja during the fight at the restaurant. I took down those guys like a sneaky legend. You know, when they weren't distracted from fighting each other. Tragically, we have yet again reached another failure of the challenge. During the horse riding section, I can kill a bunch of the people running around, but I can't get all of them. There are just too many people in the general vicinity. What's a girl to do?
You monster! You monster!
And I basically just used up as much ammo as I could during the last fight, since I was gonna lose all my ammo after that anyway. Which is also why that fight is always so fun for me. Taking out the last big Scar dude was no biggie at all, since it's just your standard hammer and sickle farm brawl. We've all been there. So, with the two of us having escaped certain death, Lev and I returned home to find that Ellie is also doing a kill every enemy challenge as well. Who can blame her? It's pretty fun. I'm not gonna go over the fight at the theater since it's kind of a boring fight generally, and no one dies anyway, so frankly, I'm just choosing not to acknowledge it at all. Moving on! Yeah, I'm not acknowledging this either. Moving on! Again. Oh yeah, there we go! There were only a few infected boys running around the houses, which I easily took care of. But since the locals didn't care too much for outsiders killing their infected, they naturally arrested us and made us their slaves. That might be a tad bit of an overreaction, but you do you. Since Ellie can't stand the thought of Abby being wrongfully imprisoned, because they're just such good friends, she headed off to save her. So I fist fought the infected in town and blew up all the shamblers that got in my way. Nice try, guys, but not today. And now I've reached the Rattlers.
I want the pain to be over.
I was able to sneak attack most of the first round of Rattlers, but I did resort to blowing a few of them up. I'm not above a few explosions now and then. Then I snuck through the second Rattler fight with grace and ease. Look at me go. Aren't I just so sneaky? Yes, I am. Why am I talking like this? And for the last fight, I basically just used the infected against the enemies and really didn't have to do all that much. The clickers got it handled. Nice job, guys. Thankfully, that's all over with now, and it's time to go face to face with Abby.
You're going to die.
And tragically, Ellie does decide to let Abby live, ruining my kill streak. Come on, Ellie. It's so not cool. So in the end, I could not beat The Last of Us Part 2 while killing every enemy. I suppose if you don't count all the parts of the game where the enemies are meant to get away, then you could argue that I did do it, but I don't know. I'm just too much of a perfectionist to let any of that slide. It's all or nothing with me, boys and girls. So once again, I have failed another challenge. Gosh darn you, naughty dog. One day. One day. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed all the senseless bloodshed, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye!